It's going to be a difficult and exhausting climb. Back at the camp, the extreme conditions are taking their toll, even on those who are not battling the wall.
What can be quite difficult is just living in can be quite squalid conditions. You've got to keep things clean. It's very dirty at times. You're getting sand and dirt in everything, be it your caving equipment, all this clothes. Feet are a big problem because you're continuously wet or sweating or going through rivers. We often get what we believe is a fungal infection of the feet.
Meanwhile, Annette Boettcher's search for life continues. She came to Mountain River Cave to find new species, but with only a mile or so to go before the wall, she has yet to discover anything out of the ordinary. She has one more chance for a promising new sample area, a dry passageway.
That's where the opportunities are with this fantastically big cave. So I can go into those and look for those tiny critters that will be evolving in their large, dry side passages in their alcoves.
Regular flooding in large parts of the cave means that it's difficult for new life to gain a foothold. But in these dry alcoves, Boettcher thinks she may find isolated species which have had time to evolve and flourish in complete darkness. The smaller and more primitive the species, the better equipped it is to evolve quickly.
Evolution takes a long time. If you have something like 2 or 3 generations a year, you can evolve at much greater speed. And mammals don't tend to have those generation times, so a white blind bat in the cave is unlikely.
Because of the cave's sheer size, species can easily get cut off from each other. In isolation, Boettcher believes it's possible for weird and wonderful offshoots to evolve.
Oh my word, look at these.
Zoologist Annette Boettcher finally strikes gold in Mountain River Cave.
This is the first white woodlouse that I've seen ever in the cave. On the surface, they would be dark colored, probably dark gray, slate gray or black. This is not something I expected to find here, so I'm very pleased. Come on. I'm almost 100% certain that this is a new species. And the reason being is that to have a new species, you need isolation, geographical isolation, but this is a pretty isolated place. They look different. There's nothing nearby that I've seen that's got no pigmentation. It's a woodlouse, all right, but it'll be a new species of woodlouse, and it'll be specific to hang-son-doong. It's about as good as it gets.
It's a fantastic discovery for Boettcher. A species that has adapted to its environment and survived the great floods of water that helped create this cave.
Well, there's absolutely no chance that anybody's ever seen these creatures before, and that's what really excites me. It's a wonderful discovery.
The woodlouse is a clear sign for Boettcher to what's happening here. In the cave, the key to adaptation is being able to keep up with the ever-changing environment, and the organisms that most successfully adjust to the prevailing conditions have a better chance of survival.
When I set off, I had actually fairly low expectations. So finding the white woodlouse is much better than I expected. I'm very excited about it.
The woodlouse's evolutionary path has enabled them to survive and prosper in an environment never seen anywhere else.
I would expect new cave species probably to be pigmentless, so looking white to us and be blind. I don't think that the woodlice we found are blind. They don't seem to have rudimentary eyes, and they can certainly sense light. So they are adapted to the cave environment. They just haven't gone the full way yet, so there's room for them to evolve more. And the next step would probably be for them to lose their eyesight.
A once-in-a-lifetime breakthrough, Boettcher discovers new life within the Doling. A breakthrough in evolution attributed to the awesome scale of this lost world. Back at the camp, time is running out. Climbers Sweeney and Clark continue in their battle to secure rigging on the wall and ready it for the rest of the team. If they don't succeed, the team can't complete a definitive survey. Limbert and the rest of the party wait nervously for news. As time runs short, Daryl Granger is convinced he's near to cracking the geological puzzle of why this cave is so large. Huge volumes of water, pure limestone, and a tropical climate are important factors. But it's not enough to explain why this cave is so big. In a bid for answers, he returns to his maps of the region.
So this is a digital elevation model. It shows the area that we're in, right in here. This is the Cavern-National Park.
Granger suspects the critical evidence lies in the cave's geography. He spots an old fault line on the map. It seems to mirror the underground route plotted by Mountain River Cave. This could be the answer he's looking for.
You know, the real light bulb moment is when I saw the fault line, and then everything kind of clicked. What I noticed are these straight lines in here. They go due north and south, and remember the cave here goes north and south. And I realized we're right on that fault right there. That's exactly what formed this cave. There's that same fault right up there.
Once, a river ran where Mountain River Cave exists today. There was a deep vertical crack in the Earth's crust, a fault. Eventually, the river water eroded the limestone and went deep underground. Once the water filled the fault and found the exit, the river started to erode the rock along the crack, and a gigantic cave was born. But there's another key factor. The fault was narrow. When the water began to carve this mega cave millions of years ago, the narrow shape of the fault fortified the cave.
The reason the caves fall apart, the reason they break down, is often because they get too wide, and the limestone roof can't support that long a length.
Here, the straitjacket of the geological fault restricts the cave's width, reducing the possible risk of collapse and allowing the cave to continue to grow in a straight line.
The fault is very vertical, and that has also influenced the cave development and helped turn it into what's probably the world's biggest cave. And that's because the walls are perfectly vertical. They're nearly vertical here. And so the cave is very, very tall.
The 1,300-foot-high dolines show what happens when a cave weakens. Granger has every piece in place. Unusually thick, pure limestone, a huge catchment area feeding a large river, an underground fault line, the right shape to contain a stable cave passage, and finally, a river on the limestone surface that made a cave at the first opportunity. A perfect formula to build a gigantic cave. The title of the world's biggest cave could rest on reaching the top of the Great Wall of Vietnam. But first, they need to know if Sweeney and Clark have managed to climb it. 2.5 miles in, Limbert finally gets the news he's been waiting for. His team has reached the top of the wall. The height or pitch is even more than anyone anticipated.
Absolutely fantastic. The pitch is, well, we reckon it's something like 80 metres. We've come up. We think we've used about 80 metres of rope.
80-metre pitch?
80 metres.
Great news. Yeah, that's his main objective of this trip, is to get up that wall, and we've done it. This morning I was very doubtful we were going to do it. I thought we were going to be too tough, but they managed to get up. They've done a brilliant job. 80 metres is a big climb in those conditions.
The good news brings speculation as to what lies beyond the wall.
I'm not going to be surprised if that's the end of the cave. I know Howard thinks it's going to turn left. My inclination is it's going to go straight there and terminate. But, you know, that's what we're going to find out.
The final hurdle now awaits Limbert and his team as they push on to join Sweeney and Clark at the Great Wall of Vietnam.
It took almost 2 days for for those guys to bolt up there. It's very fragile rock, so you need to be very, very careful. They've done a great job.
My greatest feeling was one of relief, which perhaps indicates how serious the climate has been.
You're standing up there and you're looking down and all this, and it's absolutely tremendous.
The team finally arrives at the wall. It towers above them. This is what they've been working for, their ultimate destination. Limbert and Jonathan Sims are looking for a section of the cave that beats the highest point in Deer Cave. They haven't found it yet, and if they can't get up the wall, they'll never know how tall the cave really is.
It will be very, very dangerous, so we'll have to be very, very cautious going up the wall. It's only for experienced cavers, really.
Limbert makes a difficult decision. Only the surveying team will go up the wall. It's too dangerous for Granger and the film crew to follow.
This is it. We're about to go up and push into the unknown, as they say.
Who's going up first then?
Sweeney. Ready to rock. You just have to hold a bit of tension for the first bit, like that.
We're all on tenterhooks waiting to get over this wall to see what's next.
The film crew rigs one of the cavers' helmets with a camera to record the climb.
Okay, say this. Yeah, left of it, down centre of
They can only watch as Limbert leads the team up on the final stage of the journey.
It's a whole team effort. I mean, it isn't just a few people going up a wall. It's the whole build-up. It's the sort of year of planning. It's all the prep. It's the porters. It's absolutely everything that gives a few people the chance to do something like this right at the end.
The cavers attack the Great Wall.
Absolutely fantastic. It's something else, is this? Look at that.
They have succeeded in the most difficult part of the expedition. The Great Wall of Vietnam. This huge flowstone, nearly the height of a 25-story building, is conquered at last. But the elation is quickly followed by disappointment. As Granger suspected, Mountain River Cave ends here. An exit to the outside jungle lies just 984 feet beyond the wall. With no more cave to survey, the team gathers the final measurements from the top of the wall to the ceiling. The highest point in Deer Cave is 574 feet. They've just climbed 236 feet up the wall and can now calculate the height of the whole passage.
45.8.
Sims reads the final crucial measurements.
188.
Can you just do the height of the passage there, Jonathan?
Yep, certainly.
Massive. Absolutely huge. Absolutely huge.
Finally, they get the readings they've been waiting for.
It's 96.4. 96.4!
That's incredible.
Jesus.
Altogether, the measurements show Mountain River Cave is the world's biggest, with the passage continuously higher, wider, and substantially longer than any other cave in the world.
It's a fabulous cave, a really, really fabulous cave. Really enjoyed ourselves. We had a great time. We're having a really, really good time.
It's just mind-blowing stuff, is this? It really is, and it just don't get much better.
This has been a tremendous experience for me. I feel very lucky to have been invited on this trip to see the world's biggest cave and try to figure out the science behind this cave. Just very privileged and lucky to be along on this trip with Howard and his team.